Hey guys! And as you may have seen if you were following on my Discord server, this past weekend we had the draft for the Pokemon Global Battle League, PGBL. If you want to know a little bit more about my description of what that is, you can go see my previous announcement video about it. What I want to do here right now is kind of just do a little overview of the draft. Like I said, if you were following on Discord, you got little updates for each round of draft picks. I was not able to update every single team for each pick because there were 12 teams and 12 picks each, and it was going pretty quickly, and I was trying to think strategically what I wanted to pick for each thing. So I wasn't able to update for everybody. I didn't have the kind of organization of my mind in order to do that. So instead, I just updated you on what I had, and if you want to see the breakdown of what all the teams have, I'm gonna have. I think I'm gonna just like have it all out down in the description. If not, I'll have a link to something where you can see it in the description. Either way, the information on all the teams will be in the description. But here I'm gonna go over with you right now our draft pick for the Orlando Solgaleo. This is going to be your home team if you are a fan of me and you want to cheer for me. We have that emote in the Discord server. Use that Orlando Solgaleo to cheer. Anyway, I'm gonna go down sort of the general thought process. I have here the order of the draft, the draft picks that I made to kind of go over my thought process when I was drafting. So the way that the draft worked was there were 12 teams, and I drew to pick first, or I was drawn to select first. But the way that works is, so for the first round, let's say I'm number 1, and everybody's numbered 1 through 12. The first round, number 1 picks first, and we go all the way down to 12. And then the second round, number 12 picks first, so then it goes 12, 11, 10, etc. Back to me. 1, I go last in round 2, and then I go first again in round 3, so then I get to pick basically 2 picks in a row. So if you're on the end points there, you kind of get 2 picks in a row, which was kind of nice, actually. I mean, it still kind of evened out because it kept going back and forth, because I would be first for one and last for the other. So anyway, that's just to give you a general idea of how that was going. So having the first pick was kind of nice, and really the first Pokemon I thought, oh, I really want to make sure I get this Pokemon, was Mega Venusaur, because just kind of my favorite Pokemon, sort of Bulbasaur, unofficial channel mascot. I mean, my favorite Pokemon. Mega Venusaur also being really good. So I wanted to have Venusaur in my Mega slot, and I'll break down how we got to choose Pokemon from different tiers and everything in a second. So I really wanted to choose Mega Venusaur. However, I was looking, and I really wanted my first choice for an OU pick, which was Landorus-Therian form. And so I was weighing it in my mind, and I thought Landorus would be a fairly in-demand Pokemon. Like, I highly doubted that if I didn't pick it first, that it would still be around for me to pick when it got back to me. So I decided, alright, Mega Venusaur most likely won't be as much in demand as Landorus would be. So I'm just gonna go Landorus. I think it's more important that I get Landorus, and I just keep my fingers crossed and hope that Mega Venusaur is around still when it gets back to me. Now obviously if you're looking at my layout, that's not the case. Someone else snatched it up. It's sad. So I had to move on with something else. But before I get into that, let me just break down the way that the teams were selected. So these teams are 12 Pokemon, or I should say up to 12 Pokemon, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So of the team of 12, you can have 1 Mega Pokemon, 1 OU Pokemon, 2 UU Pokemon, 2 RU Pokemon, 2 NU Pokemon, and then 4 what's called free agents, and basically from any tier, but each tier is worth different points. I believe OU was worth 180 points, UU worth 120, NU worth 100. I want to say then it was RU worth 100, NU worth 60, and then PU worth 40. I believe that was the breakdown. So with the point total of no more than 400, we could pick up to 4. So like some people might have spent their points on better, quote-unquote, better Pokemon, more OU Mons, and so they might have ended up with only 11 total Pokemon with only 3 free agent picks. I chose to go with the 4 picks, and I'll explain all of that in a moment. But for those of you wondering about tiers, I guess maybe I'll post a link to that in the description as well. It's based on Smogon and the sort of the resource for unofficial competitive battle. Just it ranks Pokemon in certain tiers based on how commonly they're used, and there's certain Pokemon that are banned for being too powerful. Mega Rayquaza comes to mind. Mega Rayquaza is the only Pokemon that's been banned from the Ubers tier, and the Ubers tier has all, you know, your box art legendaries and Mega Mewtwo, and I think regular Mewtwo as well, maybe, I don't remember. And Mega Rayquaza was banned from that tier, so it just tells you something. But anyway, I digress. Now, the tiers that we used for this draft were not exactly the same, because there are certain Pokemon that have not been placed in a tier as of yet. Either they just haven't been tested yet, or they're not yet available in the current format Sun and Moon. So in other words, Pokemon whose Mega Stones haven't been released yet, or things like that, or Pokemon whose hidden abilities, I don't know, for some reason you can get it. Actually, I think with the bank Pokemon, any Pokemon that's had a hidden ability available ever, you can access. I don't know. Anyway, point being, the tiers were drawn up a little bit different from that, and certain Pokemon that might have been OU or something were put on the banned list. So it's not exactly the same, but I don't have the exact. I don't have access to something that I can share with all you guys. So I'll just look on the Smogon tier list. It's close enough. Anyway, getting to the real meat of the thing, of what was going on here. So like I said, I chose to go with Landorus, which was my OU pick. I went with that first because I thought probably the most important, or I don't want to say most important, but I was thinking if there was really one Pokemon that I really wanted to get, it was probably Landorus. As much as I wanted Mega Venusaur, I thought Landorus is more likely to be snatched up, so I'll go with Landorus. Now Venusaur got snatched up, whatever. So the second round, I kind of scrambled a little bit. Okay, Mega Venusaur's not around. What do I do? I was looking at other Megas. I couldn't decide on one yet, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Forget the Mega right now. I have other Pokemon. Like, I didn't have any other Mega that I really, really wanted besides Mega Venusaur. So I kind of went on. I'm like, all right, I have to look for the other Pokemon that I really, really want. So for the second round, and then I also got to choose the third round. Like I said, it went back up to me. So I got the last pick in the second round and the first pick in the third round. So I got my Bisharp for one of my UU slots, and Slowbro for the RU slot, because I really wanted... I had wanted to draft Bisharp with Mega Venusaur because they have good synergy together, but I just kind of wanted Bisharp anyway, just a heavy hitter, and as it turned out, like one of the only steel types that I was considering, and dark types as well. Yeah, the only dark and steel type I have there. I just really wanted him. I've used him before, and so I wanted to get him. And so then I decided, okay, who else do I really want? I'm thinking, I'm looking fairly offensive right now, so I need to grab a good bulky Pokemon before another one gets scooped up. So I picked Slowbro for my RU slot, also the only water type that I got my hands on. So I was looking at either something like Slowbro or Suicune or Walrein, something that was a bulky water type, and so I figured, all right, I'm gonna grab Slowbro because I just wanted Slowbro. And so the next round went back down, went back up to me, and so I was looking around, and I finally decided what I wanted to do for my Mega. For the fourth round, I noticed Mega Charizard X had been taken, but not Mega Charizard Y, so I'm like, you know what, I have a Mega Charizard Y. It's really pretty good. I know Stealth Rocks are a thing and all that, but I want to use Mega Charizard Y because I know it's really good. So I went ahead with that. And I know I have a lot of experience with it. And so, like, from there I thought, okay, I gotta get one of my spinners, one of my handy spinners. I'm used to either Donphan or Hitmontop, both of which are in the RU tier. And I figured Donphan would be better, because we're gonna be dealing with electric types between Slowbro and Charizard. I know I have Landorus, but, you know, Donphan would be good. Donphan would have some more offensive power. I have a Hitmontop that's pretty bulky. But in this instance, went with Donphan. Also got that access to Ice Shard, you know, it's got some good... Oh, the other thing was because it can set rocks as well. So Donphan kind of a multi-purpose there. So then moving on this, in the sixth and seventh round, I was like, okay, you know what? I know Mega Charizard Y is very, 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 very vulnerable to Stealth Rocks. So just having a spinner, probably not enough. I'm going to get a Defogger as well. So Latias was not yet taken, so my second UU pick was Latias. And if you're beginning to notice a pattern here, I'll get back to that in a second. So, and then, I guess I had most of the most everything covered, and then I was trying to think of what to put in the NU tier, because I didn't have a whole lot that I was super attached to in NU. So I started looking at my free agent picks. So I went for Electivire in NU. It gets access to Motor Drive. It hits hard, has a lot of good coverage moves, but like Motor Drive for some more electric immunity. Again, protecting that Charizard. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say, I guess, with Electivire. So then I went around the next round, and now here I still had one. I think all I had left in my non-free agent slots were just the one other NU Pokemon, and I really had no idea what I wanted for that. So I already had a Defogger. I think the other Pokemon I was looking at was Xatu, which was taken as a Defogger and Magic Bouncer. But, you know, I had a Defogger, and I have a Spinner. So I started looking at my free agent picks, and I noticed no one had picked Shaymin. And I like Shaymin. Like, I've used one, so I know how to, how it works, and I know I kind of like how it goes. And again, good synergy with Mega Charizard, because what's a rock type? And so, I decided also good synergy, like with the Sun, you restore more with Synthesis, and also to take care of water types, although Mega Charizard can kind of handle water types just fine. But, you know, if the Sun goes away or something like that. So Shaymin as one of my free agent picks, and then Espeon as the other free agent pick, because again, I was talking about looking for Xatu for a Magic Bouncer. So I went with Espeon. Also, Espeon, just generally good special attacker. Another Psychic type. I was thinking, since Mega Venusaur was taken, and the main big threat to Mega Venusaur, kind of flying types, but Psychic types as well. So I got that Espeon to sort of counter against my beloved Mega Venusaur. And also, again, counter against hazards. So at this point, I believe that was 200 points. And so I wanted to pick my next two, for my next two picks, I wanted to do my other free agent slots. Now, at this point, I was thinking, I was looking and I'm thinking, nobody's drafted Tyranitar. And Tyranitar has pretty good synergy with Landorus. It would have good synergy with Donphan, with the Sandstorm. And Tyranitar is generally pretty good. So I was thinking and thinking, and I was like, but I wouldn't get my fourth pick, my fourth free agent pick, and I would have rather used both of my free agent picks. And I thought, all right, well, I want to use all my picks, both of my picks, but also the other aspect was thinking of Tyranitar. It's a little bit redundant. I mean, I didn't have another rock type, but I mean, I don't want to leave myself too vulnerable to like water or anything like that. I know I have Shaymin and Electivire, but I don't know. I was just thinking in general, Tyranitar was a good choice, but maybe not worth giving up another Pokemon. So in the meantime, what I did see was a lot of dragons getting drafted. I don't know if it was particularly a lot, but I kept seeing like, oh, there's Haxorus. Oh, there's Hydreigon. Oh, there, you know, these big threats getting drafted. So I thought, I need a good fairy. So I was looking, and Sylveon is UU, I believe. So we're the 120 points. So I went ahead and went with Sylveon as my next free agent slot. And then I had to think about what else I wanted to do at my last free agent slot. I figured having a sticky web setter would be good. I would have loved Galvantula, would have been my first choice, and it was available. But because Sylveon is UU and 120 points instead of 100 points, I could not afford Galvantula, which would have been 100 points, and I only had 80 points remaining. So sadly, I had to pass on that. So I went with Ariados instead. It's PU tier, only 40 points. Yeah. But it has its advantages, because not only can it set Sticky Web, if you let it stay alive for another turn, it could also get up Toxic Spikes. So I figured, alright, I get an extra hazard out of the deal at least. And gets access to Sucker Punch, I think, so, you know, just a little... If you can get it to stick around for the 2 turns to set your hazards, then you can kind of play mind games with Sucker Punch. Yeah. Now, I would have had 40 points remaining, which would have been another pick, but even though you can pick less than 4 free agents, but no more than 4 free agents, so, you know, I just had to let those other points go to waste, which is kind of a shame, but I think having Sylveon and having a web setter was worth it for that. Definitely, I think definitely worth it over Tyranitar as well. So anyway, all that was remaining was the last NU pick, and there really wasn't a whole lot remaining that I really felt that I cared to have from NU. I mean, there were some decent choices, but nothing. There were a lot of redundancies, things I already have. I already have whatever. Well, Xatu was already taken, and well, I think a lot of my choices were already taken. Weezing, a lot of things that I had in mind. So I was thinking, okay, well, how about a spin blocker? What ghost types are available? My first choice would have been Mismagius, but it had been taken either earlier that round or the round before that. And so my choices were either Golurk or Rotom, the regular form Rotom, because that's the only one that's ghost type. And I don't know what it was with Golurk. I'm like, I don't know. I already got 2 ground types. I might as well go. I want to go Rotom for the other electric type. I mean, again, I can stick it on the team with Mega Charizard. That would be nice. And I don't know. Rotom's kind of cool. I know regular form Rotom is kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's not the worst of them. I think more people don't like Fan Rotom, for example, because it's a flying type with Levitate, so it's kind of redundant. But anyway, I thought it might be interesting to use. I want to see what kind of moveset I can play with him. I've only used Rotom as on an in-game team, like to play through the story. On Team Eclipse, you may remember I had him for a Wonderlock when I played through Pokemon Y, but never really tried competitively, so it'll be interesting. But anyway, that's my full roster there. I had something else to say about it, and now I forget. So I'm just going to keep talking. Oh, let's see. My picks. Did I leave anybody out? So we've got Charizard, Mega Charizard Y in the Mega slot, Landorus-Therian in the OU slot, Bisharp and Latias as the UU Pokemon, Slowbro and Donphan as NU, Electivire, Slowbro and Donphan as RU. I don't know why I keep saying NU when I mean RU. Slowbro and Donphan as RU. Or did I say it? I don't know. I'm running on no sleep, or very little sleep, and caffeine, so this is what happens. But anyway, Slowbro and Donphan are RU. Electivire and Rotom are NU. And then for my 4 free agent, I have Shaymin, Espeon, Sylveon, and Ariados. So I'm pretty excited. Oh yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say was, if you notice, a lot of these Pokemon, if you've been to some of my streams, or I might have even used them for some Wi-Fi battles, I have 5 of 6 Pokemon that I use on my Mega Charizard team. So, a big thing I was trying to do when making these draft picks is, of course, pick the best Pokemon that I could, but Pokemon that I'm used to and that I'm used to having them work together. So, basically, as soon as, originally I was thinking, let's go, like, Landorus, Mega Venusaur, Bisharp, have that kind of be a core, and make the team around that. But as soon as Mega Venusaur was unavailable, I started thinking about it. I still wanted the Bisharp anyway, but I started thinking, okay, Mega Charizard, Bisharp, and then I guess it was in my subconscious, Latias, Donphan, and then when I went to the free agent picks, I'm like, I need to get my hands on Shaymin, because Shaymin was also on my Mega Charizard team, and I know Shaymin goes well with it. So that's basically what I have. Now, that doesn't mean I'm... the only one missing was I had a Silvally on that team. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be using those 5 every single time, but it means at least I know, hey, these Pokemon work pretty well together. So, and I have experience with them. And the other Pokemon, some of the other Pokemon are familiar as well. I'm familiar with using the Landorus for sure. Yeah, so I'm happy with my draft picks. Sad I couldn't get Mega Venusaur, but I basically got my entire Mega Charizard team, which I'm happy about, at least because I know how to use them. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion about my draft picks here, and don't forget to join my Discord server so you can cheer for me in the chat with my Orlando Solgaleo emote. That's pretty much the only reason I'm plugging Discord, but also because it's not on the screen right now. It'll be in the description. Yeah. So I hope you guys are looking forward to this. This is supposed to be, I believe, a 10 a 10-week season, or was it 11? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up right now. 10 or 11-week season. It's going to be interesting to see how it coordinates with my schedule. It'll make my upload schedule very interesting. You might see less videos from me, which is going to be fun because I have some Let's Plays to do and some other viewer battles that I'm going to try to do. Viewer battles might happen a little less often than I hoped they would, just until this is done, but you know. We'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes, but just to give you guys an idea of what's going on, here's your Orlando Solgaleo, guys. I hope you are excited. I hope you're ready to cheer us on, and we'll see. I'm feeling pretty good about the team, but you know, it all depends on how I play with them, so we shall see, we shall see. So do not forget, like this video if you're excited and you want to cheer on your Orlando Solgaleo, and leave a comment as well, show some support for this team, because I think we got a good team of Mons. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date, because, you know, you want to keep up to date with the series, with the, what would you call it, a tournament, with the competition, with the league, see how it goes, and keep up to date with the battles. And don't forget to check the description for the other teams. I will put it in there in some form. But yeah, definitely subscribe. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can do that. And what else? I don't know. You got my social media information there. The Discord link is going to be in this description. I don't know. Same old, right? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're excited. I'm excited and a little frightened as well. I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.